From Hoag Orthopedic Institute, we want to welcome Dr. Mark Hanley to the program. Your orthopedic specialty in that, but what brought you to Hoag, and what's kind of your background, and what got you here?
Well, I'm a retired orthopedic spine surgeon. I grew up in Sacramento. I went to USC locally undergrad, went to med school at Boston University.
Okay.
I went and did my orthopedic residency back in New Jersey, where I developed an interest in spine. I moved back to the West Coast, and in Long Beach did a spine fellowship with the Wiltse Spine Fellowship. Mm-hmm. And I, during that period of time, was exposed to a very well-known orthopedist who had a strong interest in non-surgical spine care, so I learned a lot about it then. I moved up to Sacramento, where for 32 years I was a spine surgeon. I founded a group with 3 other guys known as Northern California Spine and Rehab. I did over 5,000 back surgeries up there, and then in 2021 I stopped operating because I started to have a number of my own orthopedic challenges. So at that point, to get out of the Sacramento heat, my wife and I moved down to Orange County.
There you go. And so then you came to Hoag from there, and a lot of people have back pain. I play basketball, I do a lot of walking, and I just is it just something that just happens to everybody? Are there exercises that we do or don't do, or things we could do to trigger it?
Well, the number one complaint to primary care physicians is low back pain. Mm-hmm. 85% of adults are going to have a significant episode of low back pain in their life, but fortunately within 6 weeks that'll improve regardless of what treatment you get, chiropractic, physical therapy, time, doesn't matter, you'll get better. Only a very small fragment of a number of people get it, but the people that have pain that lasts longer than 12 weeks, that's what's known as chronic low back pain. Mm-hmm. And so those are the people, the program that we're here talking about today, focus on. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And when we go to somebody, it's not something to really mess around with. Why is it important to go to an expert when we're talking about back pain and those kind of issues?
Well, I think initially, like I said, most people will get better. You don't need an expert, but if you've been symptomatic for more than 12 weeks, at that point you really need to see somebody, because mm-hmm. at that point it's what we call chronic, and you want to nip it in the bud at that point. And so it's important to get some diagnostic studies and get pointed in the correct direction.
Okay. Now, Hoag Orthopedic Institute has a new program called Back to You. What's that all about?
Well, that program is a multidisciplinary program. I knew that when I retired that I wanted to be involved in non-surgical spine care. Having this big surgical experience and this interest in non-surgical care, I thought I had something to offer a program like that. So when we moved down here, the Hoag Orthopedic is the #1 orthopedic hospital in Orange County. It's mm-hmm. ranked number 18 by U.S. News and World Report. And so I met with Kim Mikes, the CEO of Hoag, to see if they had any interest in a program. And to my surprise, they were actually starting one at that point. So they hired me as a consultant to help start that program. This program is different than a lot of other programs mm-hmm. Out there, and I think it would be good for the community here.
Now we have an image of the kind of the back and the muscular structure of the spine. I want you to take a look at there. And when we look at this, what are we seeing here? What are some of the things that are there behind the pain and the therapies that go into this?
Right. So most people that have low back pain, the difference between a group of people that have low back pain and don't have low back pain is if you measure their strength, actually physically measure it, their belly muscles, their flexors will all be the same. But if you measure their extensor muscles, which are these muscles in the picture mm-hmm. here that you see running up and down the spine, it'll be weak in the low back pain patients.
Okay.
And so you really want to focus your treatment on that. Everybody tells me, or patients tell me, I've been doing crunches and that's not it. Okay. And even core strengthening isn't it. Core strengthening is a tube of muscles around you. It's great for your balance, but it doesn't help your back.
That's what we're told. It's your core. You get your core going, your back's going to be better, right?
Right. Well, it's very important for your balance. Mm-hmm. And it's great to exercise your core, but as people age, you see them start to lean forward. Mm-hmm. More often than not, it's because these muscles are getting weak, and they're the muscles that pull you back, just like the cable on a mast of a ship. So we want to focus on those muscles, and that's what this program does.
Okay. And we have another slide of somebody on one of the machines where this is how you kind of measure back strength and where they're at in there.
Right.
Right. And so I've seen these at the gym before where people are kind of going, doing their exercise, going dips and up and down.
Right.
So tell us a little bit of that slide that we have in here and how that works.
Well, that's what's known as a Roman chair. The one thing about our program is when you start the program, we actually physically measure your strength using tensometers, and then we measure your endurance. This is an example of measuring your endurance. If you can hold this, see how long you can hold that position for. Mm-hmm. Not uncommonly, people that start the program can't do it for more than 17 or 20 seconds.
Oh, really?
And if you get good at it, you can do it for a couple of minutes. So we're trying to show people you're getting stronger. And if you get stronger, your function will improve. And if your function improves, typically your pain will improve. But we focus on function, not pain, because we can measure it. We're into measurements here. We want to show you you're doing more and that you are stronger.
So you do these assessments. How do you determine if somebody's a candidate for the Back to You program or not?
Well, most people are a candidate for the program. I think the people that aren't a candidate are people that have had multiply operated backs and it may not have been successful. Mm-hmm. Chronic pain patients, meaning that have had failed treatments, they're really not a great candidate, but everybody else is. You don't even have to have low back pain to actually benefit from this.
Okay. Just the basic strengthening of that.
Strengthening your extensor muscles doesn't hurt anyone.
Okay. So I think you've been a surgeon for a number of years, and now you've kind of transitioned over to the other side. Is surgery, when is surgery the option, when is it not? I would imagine you have a really good perspective on both those things.
I think I do. Most people don't need surgery. Most people don't, 85% of people that have low back pain and go to their doctor, they're never given an accurate diagnosis because it's so hard to diagnose low back pain. Mm-hmm. Just the phrase low back pain is just a description of where you hurt, right? Mm-hmm. It's not a disease.
Yeah, my foot hurts.
Yeah, right. Well, there's a lot of bones in your foot. Any one of them could cause you pain. So if 5% of people have a definitive diagnosis, scoliosis, a fracture, cancer, infection.
Okay.
Surgery helps those patients dramatically. People with neurologic problems. I had a disc herniation. I had surgery. 2 weeks later, I was working again. It can be tremendous. But if you don't have a well-defined problem, trying to either surgically treat it or treat it with injections, whatever, but you don't know what you're treating, it's not likely going to succeed.
Okay. Now, how long is the program when somebody gets into the Back to You?
The program can be anywhere between 6 and 12 weeks long. Okay. It's typically 1 hour twice a week.
Okay. Okay. And if somebody's interested in the program, where can they go?
Right now we have 3 locations. There's 2 pro sport locations, one in Costa Mesa, one in Orange, in Orange, and the other one, in Laguna Hills. That's the location closest to this facility. Mm-hmm. And then sports conditioning and rehab in Orange with Jim Herkimer is the other location.
Mm-hmm. What is it like for you to see the results when people come in and they're having these challenges? And take me through that process of when you say, you're good to go.
Well, it's rewarding in that a lot of people that have chronic low back pain develop what's known as kinesiophobia, which is a fear of moving because they think they're going to hurt themselves.
Right.
So basically, a number of the things we do in this program is actually show you that you can do things without hurting yourself. That's important. That's improving your function. And some of it actually involves lifting a box full of weight the way you're not supposed to, straight legs, putting it up on a shelf to show you, so you won't break. It's okay. So getting people over that fear, that's really important, and I think they benefit from it greatly.
Terrific. Well, thank you, Dr. Mark Hanley from Hoag Orthopedic Institute. Thank you for coming in, and great information. Really appreciate it. Now we got Sports Corner with Cole. Don't hurt your back when you're playing sports. We'll be right back.